notifications, or else everybody on the stream is going to be getting...
Well. All right, and we should be live now. I'm going to give it a minute just to make sure that we actually go live, because we have a notorious, infamous history with YouTube live streaming. And then I'm also going to give it a bit to let people filter in. So, oh, some people are here already.
Welcome, people who are here already.
Welcome, people.
Wow.
And let me make a tweet about it. We're live now on YouTube. Come join us. So how's everybody doing today?
I am doing really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I checked out of work mode, so I'm super happy now.
Nice.
It's the weekend.
Huzzah, weekend!
Ooh, it is the weekend, yeah.
Yeah. And, Stuart, if you're in the audience, we have an Australian player with us, so I'm sure you're probably pretty excited about that. So, while everybody filters in, how many do we have right now? Let me see.
I apologize if there's background noise. My roommate has a buddy over, and they're running around shenanigan.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's really very quiet.
Alright, I'm going to give it another minute to let people filter in. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to talk a bit about this setting. So for people who have watched our previous Ryuutama streams, it's going to be kind of like that. It's generally set in the same, like, I don't know, expanded universe. If you've watched our Tenra Bancho Zero streams as well, it takes place after those. Basically, everything was so high octane for so long that, like, you know, the car ran out of gas and it broke down, and everyone that was in the car was just like, well, you know, it's nice here. Why don't we take a minute and chill out? Somebody vamp for me. I can't type and talk. Taylor.
What?
I nominate you.
In the beginning, there were great heroes fighting greater gods.
Okay.
So I'm just going to sort of repeat what you told us ahead of time on the Discord, where it was super high octane, constant combat all the time, and at some point, not only did all of the heroes and all of the kings and queens and gods and monsters become tired, so too did the world itself, and was just like, I need a break, I need a quick breather, so we're going to go ahead and stop this. So all the crazy floating island castles drifted down and landed, the giant sea monsters slipped back into the depths, the gods stumbled up to their mountains to snooze among the clouds, and the heroes just said, I'm good, I'm going to start a family now, I'm going to tend to the farms.
Exactly.
Everyone just chilled out.
Exactly. So, I have tweeted, and now I can go ahead and grab the steering wheel again. Thank you very much, Taylor.
You bet. Glad to help.
Yeah. So today is a Ryuutama stream, and today I am joined by 3 all-new guests! Wow! I'm going to pass the mic around to let you all introduce yourselves. I know that we did it off camera, but tell us a little bit about yourself so that the audience knows who you are. Ash, why don't you go first?
Hi, my name's Ash. I'm a game designer and also streamer. I run a series called I'm Not Trying to Kill You, which is where we play role-playing games on a Monday night. And then I also play some like video games and stuff on stream. I'm also the designer for The Republic, which is a role-playing game about lots of dice and also social justice and like element bending, which is pretty cool.
It's
all cool things.
Quite cool.
My pronouns are she, her, hers. And if you want to find me on the internet, it's a CGIAK, ACEGIAK, Twitter, Twitch. YouTube,
I've got you in the description.
Yay.
Yeah, if you want to check out her stuff, which I highly recommend, you can find it in the description. And next, Taylor.
Oh, hello. I am Taylor Smith. I too am a game designer. I do simple RPG type games such as Spell, the RPG, via Whimsy Machine, which is a fancy company title for just me when I want to make games on my own. I also work for Space Goat Productions, where I am a comic book editor. You can read Uncanny Valley High, which is my precious comic baby. And then Evil Dead and Terminator, I guess, were the other things that... Anyway, yeah, that's the fun stuff. I'm really excited to play in a game.
Yeah, and last but most certainly not least, Siv!
Hello, I'm Siv. You people probably know me from twitch.tv/warplamp, where we have lots of fun campaigns, like Anime Campaign and Ebonward and Root Venture and all those good stuffs.
Oh, yeah.
But when I'm
man.
not doing that D&D stuff, oh yeah,
that
you
Root
got
Venture. That Root Venture session.
This is a good one.
This is
Good
good-
one.
this is good
When I'm
stuff.
not doing that stuff, I'm usually drawing. And drawing for that stuff. I got a webcomic called Devil's Dust. It's on a little bit of a hiatus right now, but if you want to follow me for my art and stuff, you can find me over on Twitter at Spectral Fusion.
I
That's
got
me.
you in the description too. You should totally follow Siv. You did my icon for Twitter, which I quite love a lot. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I forgot to mention, if you haven't played Spell yet, you should. It's an amazing game. Taylor did a super bang up job with it.
Thank you, boss.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set the scene. I think we've got enough people watching now that I'm going to just jump into the game. Actually, I'm going to let that helicopter pass first because that's very loud.
Oh, yeah. On a similar note, there are lots and lots of bikers around where I live, so there may be a very
nice.
loud interrupting motorcycle every now and then.
That's okay. They'll just be, bikers in the background. Who's to say that bikers don't exist in Ryuutama?
I've put my bird into the other end of the house, so you shouldn't hear him as loudly.
Okay.
I fully anticipate to be swarmed by cats. They might squawk. They might butt their head against the microphone. I apologize in advance for all of the above.
Oh, no worries. My cat is most certainly going to scream, and I'm going to have to get him because he is a pouty boy.
He's such a good boy.
He's a beautiful boy, sunshine boy.
All right, so the helicopter has passed, and now let's get into the session. So, I'm going to give each of you a chance to introduce your characters, and I'm going to set the scene. Ryuutama is a game about travel, and without roads, there wouldn't be much travel. Each of you have set off on a journey, be it a personal one or one fueled by a merchant's desire. You all find yourselves now walking down a long dirt road. You're all separate at this point in time. You haven't met up yet. The camera is going to focus in first on Ashton. What's the name of your character?
Yeah, so my character is Curva. I think what kind of time of day is it?
It's getting to be sunset. It's like just kind of tickling the horizon right now. The clouds are getting a bit of a reddish tint to them, and the trees are starting to, the wind in the trees is starting to go to sleep.
Cool. So we see a broad but like quite a soft and round woman walking down this dirt road, and I think the evening light, as it starts to turn yellow and red in the dusk, highlights her auburn hair, which is in a braid down the side of over her shoulder, and I think and she's wearing like a big coat and like a little leather satchel, and I think the last of the sun for her as it's like glinting as it tries to disappear behind some trees, glints off of a wood cutting axe and a hatchet that like sit on her back and at her side. And she's just like covered in gear. She's got
nice.
She's got like all of these little
Decked out
bolts and things. Yeah, right.
Just the picture of adventure.
Yeah, she's very practically like, I need this, I will need that. I'm gonna bring she's brought along a sewing kit and
everything
all
in the
those sorts of
kitchen
things,
sink
so
with the muscle to carry it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She wears her clothes are under her big coat. We see she has a simple cotton tunic that has been dyed with mulberry.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and she leaves nice big friendly-looking footprints from her massive boots as she walks behind her.
All right. There's those footprints stand behind you, trotting off a long way to a further distant horizon, darkening now. You're walking towards the sunset, and ahead of you, casting a shadow as though to greet you, is a sign at a crossroads. And as you look up to see the sign, the camera switches, and it moves to Taylor. Tell us a little bit about yourself on this road that you're walking. It's dirt, trees, much the same environment that Curva was walking down. You don't see much on the horizon. The sun is setting as well. So tell us a bit about yourself. What do you have with you?
Sure. I am playing Vino Cadenza, the Copelia, which is a bunch of fancy words for a constructed automaton minstrel who was always instructed to play music and perform in courts and courtyards. And about 5 years ago, sort of awoken with the inspiration and the realization that though he's capable of playing many great songs, he doesn't actually know how to write any. So he has gone off on a journey to discover if something created, such as himself, is capable of creation, and if he can find originality or just some friends along the trail.
Nice.
I am currently wearing a beautiful but worn cape, beautiful but worn clothing, and a beautiful but worn sun hat. I did have some quick questions. So I didn't have enough money to buy shoes, so I can only assume that I'm walking barefoot.
I like that actually a lot.
Yeah, and so there's a bit of plastery skin bits that peel up on the edge. I'm remarkably human looking, but there are definitely telltale signs of, wait a second, that's not how you're like, your eyes take too long to blink. Or yeah.
Are you like Uncanny Valley kind of guy?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think there's a so humans do have to take a check to see if they believe that I'm human or not. So for the average passerby, they probably don't spend too much attention, but I'm sure my fellow travel mates may be off-put by the errant clicking and whirring that happens underneath what should be skin, but doesn't quite move like it. I carry with me a lute, but no weapon. The other question that I had, I am a very weak robot, and I don't know if backpacks, the size of backpacks count against the weight that you can carry, because if they do, I don't have a backpack.
Oh no!
I just have my quill and my leather book that I got for the purpose of writing songs in, but it has a lot of probably song titles and then nothing else, maybe some doodles for what my rad band name is going to be once I finally write some music.
So you're trying to put together a band. Interesting.
Or yeah, I just was a singer-songwriter in this busy world, or very sleepy world actually.
Nice. Okay. You walk down the path, maybe a touch of habitual musicality to your footsteps that tunes into the clicking and whirring going on your insides, and your footprints fade away behind you. Ahead, you see a signpost and a tall, broad, soft-looking woman who's prepared for anything, looking up at it. And then the camera switches once more to Siv. You find yourself on a dirt road, walking along. The trees give off one final wave as the last of the wind goes to sleep for the night. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I figure my character, Lapis Lazuli, is not is not walking along. They're rather skipping, hopping,
Oh.
and little jaunt in their step. And when I say little, I mean little, because they are a little fennec fox person. Big, perky ears, and just, like, the tiniest, shrimpiest little thing you could imagine. But on their back, they have a big, silly pack that you'd see in, like, an anime, covered in knickknacks and baubles and, like, just
Pots and pans
everything.
and
Pots and
stuff.
pans, clink-clanking along. And they're just humming and just looking around at, like, the bugs and the trees and enjoying the nature.
Nice. So, there's this jingle jangle, coming down the trail, and those footprints you leave behind far away from one another, well, comparatively. Your skipping and hopping leads you to a signpost, and you see two people standing, looking, who have just noticed each other. And there you all stand, as the night begins to drape itself over the sky. You've all met unfamiliar faces on this road.
I think Curva is actually like surprised when anyone like pops up behind her. She's like she gets to the signpost and she's staring at it with like her hand on her chin and like a furrowed brow,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like staring at it and like trying to puzzle out these words. It's using a strange tense or like a she
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
understand.
not quite a language you recognize. You're a
Yeah.
bit far away from home.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sure I recognize some of these letters, and she's like, if only Kana was here, she'd probably cut it down or something.
Who needs signs?
She-
We're gonna make our own where we're going.
She'd know which way to go.
Yeah.
Leslie's kind of looking up at it, squinting a little bit, and then, like, rummages around in their big pack. So there's a lot of, like, scroll tubes and stuff hanging out, but in particular, they pull out a big, huge, silly-looking treasure map, and it is, like, way too big compared to them, and they're just kind of flipping it around, looking at it back and forth between the sign, like, no, that doesn't look familiar. Did I go the wrong way? Huh?
I don't really acknowledge the sign because my journey is more of a metaphysical one. I wave to the two people that I've just come across and just offer a merry hello.
Hi!
Do you know where you're going?
Sure.
That one.
I going the opposite direction that I just came from.
Is that this way? Because this one has a sign that says Shreb. I don't. This is so confusing. Does your map have Shreb on it?
I don't have a map.
Shreb. I got Shreb with a C, not with an S.
I don't. I'm trying to.
I haven't been through a Shreb, so
Is
it's
that a
probably-
town? Is that a city? What is that? Shreb. What's a Shreb?
I don't know. I thought
I
maybe
saw
there
it.
would be somewhere around to find rest for the night. I'm not very good at this traveling thing.
I saw a shrub.
I've seen there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of those.
That's not what we're talking about, though.
As you sort of look down, a bit downcast, realizing that your shrub notice isn't much help, you do see kind of a campsite, or at least the signs of an old campsite just off the trail. It's like a couple logs pushed together. They look like seats and kind of like a circle of rocks where maybe a campfire used to be.
I think.
That looks as good a place as any.
Yeah, well, if there's not going to be a solid roof over our heads, at least we can make a fire. I think she like goes over towards the campsite and like just puts down her bag and then just like starts walking towards the nearby like copse of trees
Uh-huh.
and just like pulls out her wood axe.
Nice.
Whoa. Wait, are you gonna chop that down? I was gonna sleep in that.
There's like 5 trees.
Well, I like... okay, I'll just scurries away.
It's
That's
okay.
fine.
It's
Oh, I
okay.
had a nice
Which one
view.
Well, I can cut down another one. Which one would you like to sleep in? We can. I can make it a bit more comfy with my axe.
It had a nice view of the river. Yeah, it had a nice view of the river over there. I like that. I want to be able to see stuff while I'm trying to get some winks.
Yeah, and Curve's like, okay, sure. Well, I'll get some of these extra sticks and things out of the way, so that you've got a nice place to rest. And then I'll go and get some wood from this one.
You two are super neat.
And yeah, she just starts. She just starts like cutting things.
I've met some people along the road, but like you two are by far the most interesting. Can I like hang out with you for a while? Like, I don't know how big this camp is, but we all sort of found it. Is it okay if I stay here?
Yeah, who are you guys? That sounds okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name's Viano. I'm a musician.
Ooh.
At what point does someone like take a good look at him?
I mean, I think Curva like looks at him and like twigs, but then makes a point of like not saying anything about it.
Yeah. Maybe it was just a trick of the light. It's dark right now. It's getting dark. Who knows?
Sorry, you go ahead.
I think she like even if she did notice and even if she trusts herself, because she tends to be fairly trusting of her own perception and things. Mm-hmm. She tends to think that she always has things like pretty sorted out. But she also doesn't want to like make a big deal out of it because like she doesn't want to hurt the person's feelings. So I think she's like, Viano, you have such a musical quality about you.
Yeah, I'm a musician. Thank you.
I don't think Lazuli would notice that Vino's any different, and even if they did, they wouldn't really say anything because that's not really like a thing where they come from. You don't point.
Yeah, how attentive? Like Lazuli doesn't really seem like the type to be that attentive to surface level things.
Yeah, no, just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah,
not really
sleeping in trees.
Are you still a fox person?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. I missed that part if you described it, but yes. Fox person.
Yeah, I'm a little fennec fox person, so I got big stupid ears and like a poofy tail and shrimpy little weenie bab.
Nice. All right, so this is going to be a camp check. Curva, you're cutting down trees, I believe, around whatever Lazuli would like. So that would be a I believe a camping check.
Where is that?
I believe it says what the camping check is on the bottom right of the character sheet, I want to say.
Alright, I will find the character sheet. Because I've just got a Word document. A camping check is... I don't have that. Where am I?
It's not on the character sheet. I think...
I found it. It's on the journey rules.
Oh,
camp
okay, cool.
checks. Camp check is Dex and Intelligence. Oh no!
Now,
oh no!
Here's the part.
We could work together.
Exactly. Here's the part where I don't really play exactly by the rules. If you want to help each other, if you like can give me a reason in RP that you would like help each other, then I will let other people assist you on that roll.
Seeing that Curva is going about making the camp, I just kind of toddled behind her, picking up the sticks that she is also picking up, and like as she starts putting up the tent, I'm like, oh, I'll help, and I hold one of the corners. So I'm just kind of following her lead, doing what I think she's doing.
Okay.
As soon as you start doing that, she's like, all right, you hold this one. Oh, you're so big and strong. And like, just like really like encouraging you for like helping out.
Nice.
Thank you. I kind of feel I'm sort of average all around except for my music. So that's really inspiring. Thank you.
Lasley's just kind of standing there like,
what do I do? I don't
Fretting.
know.
Yeah.
I can get sticks, but they're.
I think she's like, you look like you have really delicate little fingers there. Do you think you could take these? And she like hands you like a fire starting kit. And some tinder, and she's like, all right, you take these and go and get started while we get some bigger sticks for the fire for later.
Ooh, okie dokie, I can make some tea.
Skittles off with a little.
Nice. All right. So I will let you all roll together for the camping check, and we will take the best result.
Okay, sure.
Should we roll d20s? How does this work?
It is
your dexterity dice and your intelligence dice, which for me are both d4s.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, Dex and Int. Ooh, no. Ooh,
I'm not quick or smart.
You are
I'm
big
not
and you
those
care very much.
Yeah.
That is 2 d6s for me because my stats are all wonderfully average.
They're all beautifully but worn average.
I
I got a 5 total.
A D4. Let's see what I get. I got a 7.
My result was a 10.
Okay. Yeah. You all come together to put the camp like into a nice, homely. Wait, that's not a good word. Into a nice like livable
Cozy.
little space. Cozy, exactly. Curva, you situate a lot of big logs for the fire. You get it going and roaring, but not too loudly, and it's like just enough heat to keep you warm through the night. And lastly, you get some tea brewing, and the smell of the tea wafts through the campsite and is just pleasant to be surrounded by. And Vienno, you help arrange the tents and the sleeping bags so that they're going to not fall on you whenever you're sleeping. And as you're all like sitting down for this, you kind of hear like a
That sounds normal.
I think Curva's immediately has like a hand on an axe and just looking around and like sitting up straight on a log and just like peering over everyone else's heads.
Yeah. How tall is Curva like compared to the rest of the group?
Like 6'2".
Nice.
Okay, Vienna's probably about average size.
Lasley's
I'm like,
yeah, Lasley's 4 feet, right?
yeah.
So I'm probably 5 foot something, like 5'8" maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about average.
Nice. Curva, if you want to notice, I'd give you a spirit plus intelligence check, just to kind of like get a beat on what this is. You don't have a guess as to what it could be because you've been traveling this stretch of land for a while now, and you haven't run into any bandits or like monsters or beasts or boars or anything. It's been easy going so far, so this is pretty out of the ordinary.
Cool. I'm gonna roll so I got a D8 for so spirit and intelligence.
Yes.
So a D8 for my spirit and a D4 for my intelligence. That's a 4.
Okay, you do manage to make a silhouette out, kind of back past that signpost that you all first met at. It's a pretty small silhouette, probably about the size of Lasley.
Yeah, I think I look at Lazuli and then I just call out straight away. I'm like, I'm like, traveler, friend, we have a camp.
Oh, a camp?
At this point, I turn around to acknowledge it.
Hello? Can you come help me?
Yeah, sure. Top, 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 top. Woo.
Lasley, as you approach, you see another animal-eared creature, about the same height as you, and they are hauling along this big stone. It's
Nice rock.
Oh, thank you. It told me to bring it somewhere.
and it's got this like rope tied around it, and there's this big ditch in the road going back off as far as you can see and fading into the darkness.
Is this the rock farmer goblin?
No,
cat?
no,
Is
it's
this
not
the rock farmer goblin I drew months ago.
It's not the rock farmer. I wish it was. I had forgotten about that.
Okay.
I wish I'd had the presence of mind to make this a rock farmer.
It's okay. I forgive you.
No, but it's this. You can't really tell what it is aside from being, like stony and a rock, and it's been like dragged quite a distance. And they're like, they look like they're pretty darn tired.
Ooh, gee, you should go to bed. We can carry that rock over.
Oh, well, it said that I shouldn't leave it, but,
Well, we can bring it with you, and I think.
Oh, you're
tell me if I can or
tall!
not. Yeah, tell me if I can or not. But I want to just pick it up.
Oh yeah, no, you can totally pick it up. It's not like
And,
a
like,
particularly big. It's like a couch cushion size. Like,
Yeah, I like frown slightly at the divot they've put in the perfectly like smooth road. And I'm like, ugh.
That's a good hole to sleep in.
I thought so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to sleep in the middle of the road. That's where a lot of people walk by, and you don't want to get stepped on.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, you pick up the stone pretty darn easily. There's like a little rope that the creature like was holding onto pretty tightly, and like still holds onto it as you pick it
Yeah,
up.
I just walk alongside.
Yeah.
I think I like I use the fact that I'm holding the stone to like kind of gently tug them towards the fire.
Yeah, they follow pretty easily. Aside from the fact that they're like looking up at you like, wow, she's tall. But they follow you over to the fire and just sort of like stand around. Like you can tell that if they weren't holding the rope, that they'd be doing that like, what do I do with my hands kind of thing.
Yeah, I think when we get over to the fire, I like put the rock down gently and like scoop some dirt around it as if I were tucking it into bed.
Oh.
And I'm like, there you go. Now it's all safe.
Oh,
We already did all of our introductions. What's your name?
oh, well, my name's Quithup.
Clifford.
Quick up.
Quithup. I don't know where it came from, but everybody just calls me that.
I like it.
Thank you. What?
Oh, there's no vowels in that. That's nice.
Vowels?
Is it vowels? Is that it? I can't remember.
I don't know what
What's
those
a
are.
vowel?
I wonder
Isn't
if
that what
anything
you
rhymes with Cliffic.
Hmm.
I'll ponder on that one.
That's a question for another day. What are you doing with that rock? What the?
Oh, it told me to bring it somewhere.
Leslie looks at the rock just like
I think Kevin's
talk
like
to it
Ke-
in their head.
No, you don't get anything. But now that the rock is
Hey, Rock!
closer to the fire, you can tell it's kind of like a stylized person. It's like round-ish. It's got like an oval face. That's like eyes kind of shut, and it's in this like.
Oh, you were describing a very large king's baylet to me.
No, it's not a baylet. Absolutely. No, it's very happy looking. It's like a contented, like it's gone to sleep after like a nice big soup kind of thing.
Ooh.
That's
And
a
it's
content rock.
yeah, it's a very content looking rock, but it has a tear carved under each eye.
Oh.
I think
Does it have tears.
What's that, Curva?
I think like I like look at this rock and I look at Quisp and I'm like, sounds like your rock at least isn't getting you into too much trouble.
No,
My-
it's a nice
my
rock.
My little boy's rock is always telling him to go in mud.
Oh, I like that rock.
I like that
She's
rock too.
She's like, I don't like that rock very much at all.
Well, this rock didn't tell me to go into any mud, I don't think, but this rock did tell me to take it down the road a long way. I think I've been going for a couple days now, and I don't really know where I'm going, but it's this town that's a little far away. Thank you for
Is this
letting
the
me stay
Shreb
here.
Town?
Shreb? Yeah!
Here, is it on this map?
Leslie pulls out the map, then like brings it over. It's got this thing is you look at it and you can clearly tell half of it is made up Candyland, and then
Yeah.
like the other half is that's an actual town. Oh, I know that landmark, but like half of it is just the Cave of Wonder.
Ooh. Okay, so you show the map to Quithup, and they don't. He's like, they're like,
Oh, I like this picture.
and that's about all you get out of them. But yeah, the rest of you, you looking at Leslie's map, you do get like like Siv just said, there are a lot of made-up names on it, but it's also kind of like interspersed with real place names, which is a little confusing.
Did you
It's a
make this
memento.
map yourself? Have you been to all
No,
these
no,
places?
no, 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 no. This thing's super old. It was passed down to my family.
Oh, well, that's also very cool.
It's a map to treasure.
If it's been passed down so long, why has no one taken the treasure?
There's treasure?
We're lazy. We're lazy. We don't. I'm kind of like the first-ish kind of want to go out and actually, you know. Now that I think about it, my great-grandpa, maybe great-great-grandpa, I don't know. One of them had this map, got it from somewhere, and I like it a lot. And I decided one day, hey, I'm gonna follow the map and I'm gonna find the treasure, and I'm gonna make everyone proud. And here I am.
Did you do it? Did you make them proud?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh.
No. I gotta. You see, it's not just any treasure. It's special treasure. It's treasure from the old world.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's dangerous.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
And you just hear like Curva like tutting to herself.
Yeah. That motherly instinct is like, oh, sharp edges.
Yep.
Okay. As you're like passing that map around, Quithip's like, oh wait, and kind of like shuffles through a pack that they were carrying and pulls out this book. It's pretty. It is old book.
You reminded me. I've got something from the old world too. It's supposed to say where this stone is supposed to go, I think, but I can't read it.
And they hold it out, and like as they hold it out, all the pages fall out of the book.
Oh no!
And the pages just sort of scatter everywhere. And Quithip like scrambles around, tail flapping wildly, trying to pick up the pages while incidentally fanning some of them away.
I definitely tried to pick some of those up.
I think Curva just like all she does is just like snatch out of the air like a couple of ones that would have gone in the fire, and then just like that's all she's doing. She's not cleaning up the rest of this mess.
Nice.
They can learn on their own.
All right, I really like that, and that works out perfectly. Quithip manages to get like this bundle of pages, and they're clutching it. They're clutching it like close, kind of like a stuffed animal. And they say,
Oh no! Can you help me put those back in order? I don't really know where I'm supposed. Could you help me figure out where I'm going?
And Quithip looks between the three of you, looks at Curva first, but you can tell that they're maybe a little intimidated.
Curva's looking at these pages in the firelight, but she's clearly got them upside down.
Yeah.
She's like, none of these words make any sense. And she turns to Vienna and she's like, does music need words? Is words a thing that music does?
Words can be in music, but music can be anything.
Is words a thing?
Well, I mean, there's actually musical notation. I can take a look though.
She just pushes
order do
the
these
paper
gotta go
into
in?
your chest.
Does this go in
well,
musical order? What's music? Is
Let's
that an
see.
order?
Let's see. So I start looking intently at the page and plucking this almost kind of discordant but very intriguing sound. And it goes for a couple of seconds and it starts catching your thoughts. And then I stop abruptly and say, no, this isn't music at all. Sorry.
Where'd it go? Bring it back. That was nice. What was?
Yeah, it was the start of a song, and I'm actually going to pass something around. Curva, you aren't able to read the pages, but through Vienna's attempted song, from the words on the page, you get an image in your head, or more like in your heart, of what these pages might be saying. And we're gonna do a bit of town creation right now.
Cool.
Yeah, so you get an image in your head of this. The book calls it a faraway place, but you feel you're close to it, as those couple discordant notes dance around your ears and sort of join hands for a couple moments, you get a sense of the town's name. What is the name of this town?
Emberbrook.
Emberbrook.
It's the name of the town. And I think as these like words are dancing around her head, like her eyebrows furrow and she like scrunches up her nose, and then when the music stops, she sneezes.
Oh, so you can read it?
And she's just like, yeah, I guess so. I can make out these letters. Emberbrook.
Yamberbrook.
Yamberbrook.
That sounds more like a word.
Yamberbrook.
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 Yamberbrook. Have I ever heard of a Yamberbrook?
There is no.
I haven't been out of home long enough.
There is no Yamberbrook on your map. And Vienno, through trying to play it as a song, you catch some numbers on the page.
Okay.
And you realize that these are it's like a genealogical record almost. It's like populations. And what is the most recent set of numbers? What is the town's population?
It seems to be a larger one. I think it's smaller, but it goes from one line to the next. It is 12,000.
12? That is quite a sizable number of people,
Wow,
considering
that's like
the
a
age.
city.
Yeah.
The next set is a mileage that spreads it out wide.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, you after the numbers, it's a bit hard to discern just because the letters themselves sort of they've been moth-eaten, and the ink that was used to write them, you can tell this book has maybe taken a couple swims without any proper floaties or anything. But Lazuli, you find some on the pages you picked up. You see some like drawings, and you recognize some of those. They're from your map. What?
Map doodles.
Yeah. What's the environment of the town?
Looks to me like it's almost like it's a city built into like a fissure in the ground, like canyon walls, and there's like it's tall, but then it's flat at the top, and like it's almost like skyscrapers, but it's all in like a trench kind of fissure.
Wow, it's a hole.
It's a hole.
Oh, the rock was telling me to go into mud. Yeah.
No.
And then Quithup kind of they dump all the like sheets that they were holding at Vienno's feet, and they say,
Well, I don't really know what they say, but the rock did tell me that there's a big building that it wants to go to, and it's this big building.
and this is the town's representative building.
It's this big building that looks like this.
And they hold up their hands in kind of this like this arch shape.
Oh, so like a steeple, like a bell tower?
No, kind of like this.
And then they spin in a circle while still in the arch shape.
A carousel?
What's that?
Slow down, you'll make yourself dizzy.
Whoa.
And Quithup slips on some pages and kind of like falls over.
No, like a big circle, but like all the way around.
A dome?
Yeah, a dome. But it spins.
What?
So
Like a spin top?
Yeah.
I don't know what that building
What?
is, but I really want to go to it.
That doesn't sound safe. A whole building
No.
spinning like that's going to be very dangerous.
Oh,
We should be careful.
it's slow.
That
It
sounds
spins
fun.
slow.
That sounds really fun. I want to go.
Me
I wanna
too.
go to the spinning building.
And the rock wants to go too. Here, you should talk
Okay.
to it.
It's dark now. We need to sleep. We can go in the morning.
Oh, okay. I'm hungry though, and I haven't eaten anything lately. Do we have... Should I go get food?
Yes, absolutely.
Lazuli goes over to like a little pot they have boiling on the fire, and like there's all the tea fumes and stuff coming out of it, and
Yeah.
they start like pouring up a little cup and like getting fruits and stuff out of their bag. Really bizarre, like definitely not real world looking food.
Nice.
Yeah, and Curva's like looking intensely and like slightly like skeptically at what you're doing, as if she's like, this doesn't make any sense.
Look, they're desert fruits.
Oh, I know this one.
And then Quithup like grabs the banana shaped thing, the apple shaped thing, and then peels it like a banana.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Curva looks like horrified and confused. She's like, that's not how.
Here.
Oh goodness.
Quithup
She
like
takes it.
That doesn't look like bread at all.
Quithup like breaks it in
try
half
some,
and
Vito.
hands some to Curva.
Yeah, and she like takes it and like and this I don't know if you've seen the thing of Griffin McElroy eating a banana like
I
just
have.
yeah. She tries that and then makes this like horrible face of like I'm eating this thing very wrong, and like
This is wrong to me.
this food is completely like
Just
doesn't
like
make sense to her.
eats the whole banana peel on. Yeah.
And like she seems very frustrated by this because food is something that she thinks she's good at. And she's like, "This is what? No, none of you are making sense right now."
And Vienna, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Do you eat?
I think that I do.
Okay. Like
I was
like
looking at the
out of
rules and stuff,
necessity?
maybe.
And I
Kind
think
of.
that you have a little fire furnace inside you that like burns.
Aw.
Yeah, so like I'm burning fuel because like I don't want to completely circumvent the how to survive in nature rules, but I kind of like the idea that food either helps him continue to look more human, or
Oh,
it kind
yeah.
of helps fuels his mechanisms and stuff. So it doesn't super matter what he eats so long as it's good organic mass. But, like,
Okay.
I assume he can still be poisoned because he can gum up the works.
Yeah,
Mm.
oh totally. Okay.
So he probably puts the food in his mouth, and the first moment of kind of disconcerting action happens as his mouth chews almost more puppet-like, where his jaw goes up and down.
Yeah, straight up and down instead of like the subtle back and forth of a chew.
Yeah. But he
Yeah,
seems
and-
to be enjoying it. He's kind of making this like sounds just quietly to himself.
Oh, let him go.
I think like Heather's like looking at her food that isn't working, and then she looks over at Vienna not eating properly, and just kind of like slumps down onto a thing and like tries to continue eating, like staring into the fire.
Yes. Vienna, you actually see like I imagine you're kind of like doing that into the middle distance thing when you're eating some good food.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then you kind of like look down and you see Quithup staring up at you, and they're like making like kind of like parroting your movements. Like, what? That's not right. That's weird.
Why is that weird?
Well, because look, it's like one of those old wooden dolls.
Oh, I'm not made out of wood. I think it's some type of metal. Maybe?
Oh.
It's made out of people.
Oh, are you a rock too?
No. No, I can move a lot more than rocks can move.
Well, but this rock moved really far too.
Well, I don't have anybody as strong as you pulling me along.
Oh, thank you.
You bet. Wink.
Click.
Again, like the rest of the face doesn't move as the eyelid shutters down a little bit too slow for a natural wink.
Quithup doesn't seem to be bothered by that and takes the gesture to heart, and then sort of like curls up by the fire and it just passes out without any further ceremony.
Can I do a quick minstrel knowledge to see if I can kind of like recognize any sort of significance to the rock, whether it's like a dragon statue or something like that.
You can. You absolutely can.
Okay. I'm gonna look at what that pool is real quick. Okay, so I had the knowledge of tradition, which I roll intelligence plus intelligence and just information than I'd otherwise be able to get. But I only got a 5, so I don't know how good that is.
Okay. You do get some information. You recognize like the style that it's carved in. It's a protective deity. Like it's you actually know the name of the deity too, because it's a pretty specific likeness. And actually, chat, what is the name of this deity? It is a protective goddess that that was put at the top of a hill, or rather, was enshrined at the top of a hill to guard like an entryway between two, like, what's the word? It's like where two mountains meet, like, or two sheer cliffs meet. I don't know if there's...
A pass?
Yeah, a pass. Like, she was enshrined at the top of a hill to guard a pass.
Alright,
Whoa.
chat, give us something good.
I like the name Merburla. Merburhala? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Merberhala.
Merburhala?
Yeah, Merberhala?
Merbahala is a nice way to pronounce that one.
Balastria.
Oh, where's Balastria? Oh, there it is,
it's up there.
Balastria.
I like the Batsusama.
That's the character from another stream.
Also,
Oh,
Neural
goddammit.
Soup.
Sorry.
Neural Soup.
Yeah, no, that was, we had a pro wrestler on the stream, and he played a character named the Batsu-sama.
That's amazing.
Valina, I'm posting my favorites in Discord. Ooh, Bela is absolutely my favorite so far.
I like Bela.
Yeah.
Yep. Done.
All right, Bela. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm good.
Vienno, you recognize that this is a statue of Bela, but you've never seen one with tears before.
So after sort of looking at it for a while, I just kind of reach out, touch it, and say, Bela isn't usually crying.
You feel a longing when you touch the stone. Have you felt before?
Yeah. I have, like, sensory perception. I think I have a little ticker heart in there somewhere.
There's, like, you know that sensation that, how can I describe this? Before, when you would stand at the front of a concert hall and play your lute, pluck the strings, and watch the faces of the nobles who came in attendance, that arrangement of their eyebrows, that upturn towards the front, that half sort of lidded stare and the downward curl of their mouth, that what you know to be called sorrow, that thing that people would show you when you played those sonatas, that's what you feel from the stone. Like, you feel that from, and there's, like, you get the sense that this is what the people have felt when they listen to your music.
Ow. Kind of, like, touch at my face a little bit as it makes an expression that it hasn't made before.
What's wrong?
Ow.
Yeah,
I think I'm sad.
Oh, why?
I think it's because Bela's crying.
Bela?
Oh, yeah, the rock.
The rock? The rock is a name?
Oh, well, no, okay, so the rock is a statue of Bela. She's a guardian deity.
Oh. Oh, so she's like all magical and gave you powers. And she made you feel? Wow, that's not very nice. Why would she make you feel sad?
Well, I mean, sadness isn't a bad thing. I know a lot of people used to get really excited and gather together in big halls just to feel sad for like an hour. And so I don't know, I thought it was fun for them, but like this kind of stinks, but like I don't know, weird.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff people make up about like the old world and their weird customs. I don't know if I believe that one.
Oh no,
Why would you
I mean
wanna
like
feel sad.
I mean like a couple years ago when I used to play concerts.
What?
I think Curva just like just comes up and like puts a blanket around Vienna and like puts another cup of tea in their hand, and this one like is slightly different, and you can tell that she's like tinkered with the tea.
Nice.
And she's like, you're sad, blanket, tea, and then just like that, you know, this has fixed the problem.
Yeah, this is what you do when friend is sad.
Yeah.
This is what we do where I come from. Tea is really important.
It has just the right amount of oil in it.
Hmm?
That's really good. Oh, I'm feeling like a new type of happy that's a different kind of happy because I was just sad. What a journey today has been.
Yeah. And as you come to that realization, your internal machinery does start spinning a bit slower, and you feel yourself get tired. Curva, your earlier insistence that it's bedtime was most certainly correct. Everyone is definitely up past their bedtime, and it would be wise to retire. Otherwise, you might suffer a penalty to your condition check tomorrow. It's important to be well rested, chat.
I wish I'd known that last night.
Lazuli kind of sweeps away a little bit of dust with her tail and like finds a nice little spot to curl up underneath a tree, and they're having a little bit of a hard time trying to sleep because they're excited thinking about giant spinning dome building. But I feel like they eventually manage to get to sleep.
Nice.
So with like I think like once Vino and Quithip are like lying down, like Curva definitely like puts an extra blanket on each of them.
Oh.
And then goes over to Lazuli and like has a blanket and then like looks confused and then gets like a little bit of like tree brush and goes to maybe put it on Lazuli as a blanket and then just kind of like puts it next to them in case she wants it.
Oh, I love that.
I'm imagining I have a moment where I'm like, good night. Just power down.
And just sort of like slump forward where you're sitting or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Body awkwardly still.
Nice. All right, so you all retire for the night after being joined by this strange stone and this fox-eared fellow. And the night passes not fitfully, but you do each have a dream. What? I'd like you all to tell me a bit about this dream. It's about the stone. It's about Bela. It's about why she's sad. Let's start with Ash. Curva, what do you see in this dream?
I think I see Bela, I see Bela not any like long before when do we have a gender for Bela?
She.
Okay. We see Bela when she's a proud and upstanding and like guardian spirit, like performing her role. But I think from in my vision of this, I think we see like the moment at which she becomes like where like the wind is like howling against her, like coming up through the pass, and like the rain is hammering down on her, and like she's used to seeing people like like pay some kind of tribute as they come through the pass. And like she's at this moment where she's so like being hammered and she's like being proud and everything, and someone just walks through and doesn't even notice her.
Oh.
And there's that moment where she's like, oh, why am I doing like that moment of
no. Oh, okay, that's really good. Siv, Lazuli, what do you see in your tiny fox dreams?
In my tiny fox dreams, I feel like Lazuli's dream starts off like most of their dreams do, fairly nonsensical and like mundane and filled with things from like their usual life. So it's them chilling at home in their little foxborough with their family, all happy, and they're all drinking tea or something. And I feel like Lazuli is getting to the bottom of a cup of tea and then hears a little tink at like the bottom of their glass, and they look down and it's like the Bela stone but super teeny tiny, and then like they like drop it out onto their hand and look at it, and then it's like a vision through Bela's eyes of the pass and like the fissure in the ground between the two mountains, and then like the mountains start spreading apart and apart and apart, and just like the stone left there in the middle by itself.
Oh, it's just like this big nothing.
Big nothing, yeah. And
oh
then
man.
Probably just caterwauls off to something completely nonsensical again and irrelevant to the stone. But Lazuli is left with when you're having a dream and it transitions but you're not ready and you want to go back to that part and figure out why that was happening, and you're left with like that sad confusion. They're kind of left with that, feeling like they've been abandoned.
No. Okay. I really like that. I like the mountains separating. So Taylor, Vienno, what do you see? Is this the first time you've had a dream?
I think my dreams are probably, any dreams that I've had before have been probably pretty strictly memory dreams,
right,
or music dreams of things that I'd been learning at the time, very much like recordings of the day in a literal sense.
Right, so like literal just memories, not interpretations of memories, but events as they happened.
Right, yeah. So this is the first time, and it's, I don't know, in lightning as just like exciting, as Vienno dreams of a performance that he has done, the feeling that he would elicit on others, and in the way that he imagined that big round building turning, the perspective of the dream is just constantly turning in a big circle, as he finds himself in the perspective of the audience looking up at himself playing, and then it circles back around and he is playing again, but there's no audience there, and it continues to circle around, and he's back from the perspective of the audience, and he's looking up on the stage, and instead of him, it's Bela, and Bela reaching out to him, and it's this very personal experience of what kind of feels might be the step in the right direction of trying to figure out creativity, but not necessarily associating the feeling of novel emotions and the feeling of like this dream being kind of an act of creation in his head, not making that connection, but the pieces are starting to form, and the dream rotates again, and he's on the stage, and it's the audience, and it kind of goes in this cycle of in and out of a very realistic portrayal of a performance he has literally done at some point in his life.
Okay, I see.
Cycling through and being in the audience, viewing Bela or viewing his new party members, sometimes standing alongside of him, sometimes what seems like a gulf away on the opposite end of this sort of musical chamber, but it's really just this giant rotating building that he still doesn't understand. Like, he doesn't know what this rotating building is, so he's just supplanted his own idea of a building that's kind of round.
It's like his brain trying to make sense of all the information. Like your brain's like, wait, this isn't what I usually do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the neural network trying to generate things on its own.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so the night passes in that way. The dreams could be for you the entire night, or for like Lazuli, maybe passing moments. But day comes, and as you're all waking up, let's go ahead and roll your condition checks to see how you're feeling this day. And I do believe it says how to do the condition check on the bottom right of your character sheet, or left? I can't remember.
Condition is strength and
Spirit.
Spirit.
Oh,
I know
okay.
this because I'm good at it.
Hold up. Say that again.
Strength and spirit.
Oh, okay. So 40.
I got a 9.
Oh, wow. I think that's almost perfect condition.
Ooh, I got a 12.
I got
Nice.
13.
18? What?
13.
Oh, okay.
6 and a 7 on 2d8s.
Nice. Yeah, so, Curva, you wake up fit as a fiddle. And
Straight.
yeah. And like, this is, you gotta, like, that, it was a distressing dream, but in your personal journey, you feel like you took a strong step forward. Like, this is...
I think
Oh,
I
go
think
ahead.
Cover's quite good at being at like halfway through the night being like, I'm having bad dreams. I'm going to stop having bad dreams now and sleep properly.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you wake up. I'd say that you're probably the first up. Wait, well, actually, I don't want to take that from you. Is
No, I
Curva a late
definitely
sleeper?
am,
Okay.
Because when everyone else wakes up, I've already prepared breakfast.
Okay. Nice. And as you wake up, you notice that Quithup is like starting to wake up, like tail flicking back and forth. If you've ever seen like a dog or a cat sleep, they're doing that sort of like tail like flap real quick. Maybe they're chasing something in their dream. And Siv and Taylor, what did you roll? I forgot.
I rolled a 12.
A 12. Okay, yeah. Lazuli, you are the next to wake. Did you end up using that tree branch through the night? Did you pull that close to you and use it as camouflage, or
Probably, yeah.
you wake up holding a
Kinda,
tree
like,
branch?
Curled up in between the roots,
Yeah.
just like has it over them. Yeah. As soon as they wake up, they like spring the branch off of them and like pop out into the air, and then bizarrely begin rolling around in the dirt and having a dirt bath, because this is what you
This is what you do in the
where they're
desert.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then Vienno, you are the last to wake.
I'm probably in a different position than I was in when I fell asleep, which is unusual because my sleeps are usually very static.
Yeah.
And probably kind of like a quick jerky motion, and then I'm awake. There's not a whole lot of transition between sleep and wake.
Yeah.
So I kind of jerk awake, and it's like, something happened that didn't happen before, and okay, oh, this is where I am.
You probably
now.
didn't have like a super restful sleep. Like, you were probably like maybe you mistook that dream for being awake because you've never had new information come from a dream.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
one
almost
of
like
those-
I remember something that happened that I didn't know before.
Yeah. So yeah, I think on the character sheet there is a little like sliding scale from like 5 to something.
So many.
Yeah, 5 to many.
Is that the condition one?
Yes. Mark.
Yeah.
It's from 2 to 20.
2 to 20. 10 is, I believe, like excellent condition. Like over 10. So anybody who is over 10 can add 1 dice size to any one stat for the day.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is super handy and cool.
So I'm more dexterous today.
Nice.
So
I think
yeah,
I'm more
like
intelligent today.
I think I put a little like paper plate with like a piece of toasted bread with jam on it, and then a sausage on top of that.
Oh,
Like, just
man.
put that in front of Vienna, because I can see them being like confused at what's happened. And I'm like, here, eat food.
Oh, thank you.
And I prepare the same strange meal for everyone else.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you! Quithup kind of like pops up from your periphery, and just scarfs it all down, and like kind of starts plodding around for a minute, and then wanders off into the woods, somewhere.
I like look at Quithup and then look at the rock and then like look after Quithup and I'm like,
They don't notice you. They're on a mission, whatever it is. You get the impression that Quithup doesn't have a particularly good attention span.
I assume they're going to the bathroom.
Oh, no! This is very short attention span.
I'll go see.
Okay, yeah, I'd say it's not.
I'm like, okay, but take your breakfast.
Yeah, no, Lazuli, it's pretty easy to follow Quithup. They don't really make an effort to hide their trails. And you find Quithup kind of lifting rocks up and looking under them. And being of a same or similar race, you realize that they're foraging for food.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm hungry still,
Want
so...
help?
Yeah!
Ooh, let's get some beetles.
Yeah, I'm looking for a frog. Those are my favorite.
Well, we need to find water for a frog.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be, I think there's, a hunting check, I believe? Or, that's only if you're a hunter. That'd be...
Yeah, hunters have the hunter skill.
Yeah, I'd say to forage, it would probably be an intelligence and spirit check.
I would use Dex.
Dex? Alright.
I don't know. That's my feeling.
Intelligence,
If we're trying to catch a frog.
I'd say int and dex. To like, to hunt and catch beetles, frogs, whatever.
Okay. Whoop! Hold up, drop my die. Oh no! Oh, where'd that go? Oh no!
Okay, while Siv finds that, what are you two doing back at the camp?
I'm tidy. I'm like packing everything up like neatly into like bags and things.
Ooh, I didn't do very good. I only got a 4.
Oh no. Quithup did not do very well either.
Spider! Spider!
Oh no!
Yeah, both of the fox-eared creatures come running out of the forest, equally panicked. And
yeah, and Clover like grabs them both by the scruff of their neck and lifts them up and is like, okay, what's going on?
There's a spider!
On you? Get bitten?
Is he on me?
Quithup kind of like kicks and struggles trying to get off them.
She just shakes the two of them to make them stop moving.
Quithup screams a bit but calms down.
Is it? She's like, did you get bitten?
I don't know. Did you get bitten?
No, I don't think. I just don't like him.
Did it chase you out of the forest? Was it big like a cow?
It was huge.
Quithup holds up a single hand, like, and does like the finger and thumb apart.
And she's like, okay, and like she puts them down and draws her axe and her hatchet and goes to walk towards the forest to fight whatever the fuck is in there.
All right, you walk into the forest. You follow their footsteps and the like pushed aside brush, and there's this little like rock pushed aside. And do you have harvest men in Australia?
No. Is it like a huntsman?
Sort of. It's like a huntsman, but completely extra harmless.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like a crane fly or daddy long-legs or something.
Oh, like a daddy long-legs.
Yeah, daddy long-legs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a daddy long-legs. Just kind of like contemplatively walking up the rock and just sits there.
I think she like reaches into a pocket and like sprinkles some crumbs near it for some reason.
Oh, I love that. It's you know, inscrutably still like spiders and crustaceans tend to be, and then sort of like with all its legs turns around, looks at the crumbs and walks over to the crumbs and just kind of hangs out by them.
Can I roll a dex or a dex and intelligence check to see if I find the frog?
Oh, of course.
Just because I'm in the forest?
Of course.
Oh no, I rolled a 3.
Ooh, no,
Oh,
no
no.
frogs.
Yeah, I'm like, I like look around and I'm like, and I'm just being like, this for like, I'm expecting to see like mushrooms and like small game and all of these sorts of things, and this forest has just got nothing.
Yeah, it's a
In it?
different forest than you're used to.
I think she like spots like the long dead skeleton of like a small bird or something, and she just feels like weirded out by the lack of like sustenance in this
Yeah, yeah.
place. And like she puts her axes down and then like wanders back and like it's like it's okay, I dealt with it.
Wow. You're really strong, huh?
She's like hard work helps you do more hard work.
Wow. Pulling a stone is hard work.
She's like, yes, and look how strong you are now.
Quithip holds up
Carrying
both of their
treasure is hard
arms
work.
and then looks at Lazuli.
And she's like, yes, you're getting very strong up in your head from all of that map reading.
Mm.
Okay, well, I should probably keep pulling the stone.
She's like, Cover's like, it's all right, we'll help you.
Really?
And she's like, well, I'm not going anywhere in particular. I'm just out to see the world, have a bit of
Yeah,
a
I
break.
want to find cool stuff and see all these cool places everywhere, especially if they're not on my map and all that. Any building isn't on my map, so I gotta go find that.
Yeah, Quithip turns to Vienno as the last one in the group.
Vienna was probably just sort of sitting on the log where he woke up, having finished his meal, just going like doo-doo-doo, and watching all of the chaos happen around. And like everybody runs off into the forest. He watches them run off. He looks at all of their stuff that they left behind, kind of shrugs, watches them wander back in after the spider episode, and is like, "Oh yeah, I'm going where you guys are going. My journey's a metaphysical one."
Is that... What? What?
I like the fact that like do any of us know the word metaphysical other than you? Like I think it's just a look of like all three of them just like question marks come up above their
Yeah,
heads.
exactly. Quithip like tilts their head a little bit, like, huh?
It's very possible Vienna only has like a strained understanding of what it means. He's like, oh, it just means that the place that I'm going is not one that's in the world. It's in my heart.
Oh.
And like, and Cover's like, that's so lovely.
That
All right,
sounds
now put
hard.
your shoes on.
Okay. Oh, wait, I don't have shoes.
She's like,
Oh, neither do I.
Me neither.
she
Hey, high five.
does that thing where she looks around at the group like so disappointed again.
Yeah, yeah.
I hold out double high fives. It's probably too high. I really hope the fox people jump to give me a super high five.
Quithip really tries to jump.
Dex check. Let's see if I can jump.
Yeah, here, I'll roll a dex check.
I bow enough to meet it.
I got a 4, halfway there.
Quithip definitely. Well, okay. They scrumble up you and give you a high five. And then like just kind of hang on. Like that's the new place to be.
All right, that's cool. I
No place
probably
to be.
have. Yeah, I probably do the little bit of arm perch or something. Like, if you want to hang out on my shoulders, I guess that's okay. You can seek refuge underneath my sun hat.
Oh, I could wear the sun hat, and we could both be wearing it if I sit on your shoulders.
Yeah, that's a really efficient way to wear a hat.
Cover rolls her eyes and picks up the stone.
When you pick up the stone, Curva, you don't like hear any words. This is like pre-lingual, but you get like images and feelings. You get like a pull. Like if you were a magnet being tugged towards another magnet, this is what you'd feel like. And it's kind of guiding you, or at least feels like it's guiding you towards the road and further on down that road.
She sneezes.
Okay, and this will be a travel check. If you're all content to depart now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That sounds good. At least we're not going to be leaving a divot in the nice road now.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't say that out loud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, which one of you?
She's silently disapproving.
Okay. First, actually, you don't really need to make a direction check, actually, because the stone is guiding you and you're following this stone. But it is going to be a travel check, just to, like, how well do you fare through what you're going.
Yeah.
And before we make the check, would everybody mind too terribly if I took a break to get some more water and coffee?
That is fine.
That's totally okay.
How is everybody liking it so far?
This is going really well.
Nice.
I'm having a fun time.
Nice. All right. If we want to take turns taking a break, I can entertain chat first.
Yeah, I might grab a glass of water quickly then.
All right.
Give me a second.
Yeah, I'll be real quick.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, Foss, is that you and I?
Yes, it is.
Cool. I'm super happy with Ryuutama. I think it's really interesting. When I was reading the rules, it seemed almost kind of like I was a little worried by the number of camping checks, travel checks.
Yeah, it's a bit like the rules as they're given are a bit much. Like, Jay and I came to the realization that, like, if you play Ryuutama by the rules, it's kind of brutal. Like, because there's such a low chance for success on all your dice. Like,
Yeah.
it's really tough. Like, you're gonna get your butt kicked by the grasslands.
One of the things that I saw in the very back, though, in the FAQ, was the question was literally like, "Isn't this a whole lot of rolls that we have to do?"
Yeah.
And the answer was like, "Don't worry about it."
Nice. That's perfect.
Just kind of like they're more of prompts for role play.
Exactly.
So I feel like, yeah, what we're doing now, where it's like do a check, but like talk about it and actually do what you do. It's cool that it encouraged that, and it's not like you have to roll and that is your fate.
Yeah.
It's not
I know.
Dice Roller Simulator.
I love that. I love that so much. Ryuutama, Golden Sky Stories, and more recently discovered, thanks to you, Witch Quest. Like,
Yes.
I consider these, like, pastoral games, despite being made, like, 10-ish years ago. Like, I most certainly consider them decades ahead of where, like, Western RPGs are just getting to. Or at least mainstream, I should say, Western RPGs.
I think they're definitely taking a different approach, right? Like,
Oh, welcome back, by the way.
in that, yeah, hi. I definitely, because I'm a person who definitely thinks that, like, if there are rules and roles and things in the game, then like you should be using them, and that they should be like, and a well-designed game should be creating that feedback loop of, like, the fiction naturally leads into the rules, and the rules naturally lead into the fiction. And I definitely feel like that's a thing that modern games are working out, and that these older they're all Japanese, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely have a different approach to that cycle.
Yeah.
Which can that can inform us in, like, designing other things.
Yeah.
I've been reading kind of up on the history of, like, role-playing games, and you can kind of see how Dungeons and Dragons, which say what you will about the system, unfortunately shaped, like, the entirety of Western role-playing for so long. Like, it's born out of not only, like, Tolkien, which is good fantasy, but it's also just buried in all of its tropes. But it also grew out of war games. Right, it grew out of those, like, soldier versus soldier tabletop battlefield war games, where I think the Japanese games come out of their legendary tales. So it comes out of, like, stories of journeys and mythology. So the inspiration is totally different. So you kind of see both growing in different directions, and they use a lot of the same mechanics as they get informed by each other, but they're totally drawn from different cultural pools.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think the thing that I like about the way that the game design that I'm seeing in Western things at the moment is like there's there's Dungeons and Dragons and its children, and then you see like, and then there's things like Vampire the Masquerade, which, and like the whole White Wolf thing, where they say that they're about, where they want to be about role playing, but they're still stuck with
interpersonal
the
gothic
rules.
horror. I think.
Yeah, but they still have rules. They still have rules for fucking katanas and tanks.
They have
right?
a rule for
like,
There's a. Oh my god. Oh.
So they haven't been able to escape that history. And I think once we get to like the Forge and Apocalypse World and now Blades, we're seeing more stuff where like we have a better understanding of the relationship between narrative and mechanics. And I think that it's really cool that we have this other cultural thing that we can then look at and make and have as an influence that can guide our design in a different way again.
Oh yeah. Oh man, gosh, World of Darkness reminded me. I'm on another podcast called Wad the Heck, most recently turned into Palladium Poisoning, where we would review and like go back and do retrospectives on like old WoD things, because like everybody, well, a lot of people played those when they were younger and were like totally into them, and like not like with any degree of irony to it or like self-awareness either. It was that whole I'm a vampire and it's totally awesome kind of thing.
Yeah, but at the time that was
I'm
like
10 years too young for this.
At the time it was so kind of cultural though, right?
It totally was. It totally was, and it gave a space for a lot of people who didn't really have a space. Funny story about, like, I'm from Springfield, Missouri, and there used to be this Vampire the Masquerade LARP meetup, and like the city encouraged it because they're like, yeah, no, it makes the city seem busier than it is. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's a story for another time. I'm going to run to the restroom really quick.
Yes.
Thanks for. Yeah, be right back.
That's right. I think Do you want to talk nerdy game design stuff?
Yes. Ash, you design video games and tabletop role-playing games, right?
Yeah. I try to like take influence and see how like the two can influence each other, and what is game design across mediums, rather than just specific.
That's super cool. I've heard a lot of really good things about Republic, and I kind of had that really exciting moment when you mentioned it, and I was like, oh dang, that's you. To play it yet, which is I feel very unfortunate.
I mean, it's still in early access, so like it's still pretty mercurial in that like a bunch of stuff has changed in a couple of recent updates. Especially like having read, having been reading through Blades and different Blades hacks, and it's like really obvious that that's influencing the design.
Oh yeah, like the kind of almost unintentional borrowing where you love something in the system. It's like, yeah, I want to. Oh wait.
I think the thing is that like I keep finding that I've got a problem with design, and then someone else has solved it, and I'm like, well, I may as well use that solution.
Right, that makes sense.
But yeah, it's really it's a really interesting game to be designing, because it's like so much out of the like fun, happy adventure time, and more into the like, hey, let's actually talk about social issues. And so it's a bit nerve-wracking, but and like it's in that you're like, oh god, I could fuck this up really badly, but at the same time I feel like it's a game that needs to be there to exist.
Yeah, and it feels like it's on a trajectory that I guess is well intentioned and well like informed enough to, even if it makes mistakes, because like anything going along that path is going to be imperfect, it seems like it's hitting the right keys.
Yeah, I mean, it came out of the Three Forge competition. I'm not sure if you were a part of that.
I was not a part of that. I read up on it, and has it kept going? This only site that I found.
It was just the once.
Okay.
So that because it was like blind and three people worked on it separately. When the first version of it was like released from the competition, it got a lot of criticism for having for like being kind of problematic in that it was like straight white men were saving the minorities, and so like that generated a lot of discussion and criticism, and so we're like, okay, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this away, and we're going to do it properly, and we're going to do like proper representation and all these sorts of things, and like, you know, try and treat it with enough care that we might end up with a thing that can approach these social issues without hurting people.
Is there a print version of the Republic right now?
No. It's still. I was just saying it's still in early access.
Okay.
So like rules and things are still changing. As
I've sort of
it evolves.
Been following the development via osmosis since I follow you on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I catch the occasional Republic tweet. But yeah, no, I'd actually like to, Ashton Taylor, I'd like to get together with you two and talk game design, because you both have really cool game design opinions, and I am always eager to learn. It's a topic I am very fascinated by.
I will always geek out over game design.
Yeah, I know that we
Yeah,
did
it's
one
not to
about...
make me shut up.
Yeah, I know that you did one about positive existentialism recently, which I am still all about.
Yeah, I should finish that one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's cool. I want to do something with it. Anyway.
That sounds really cool. I would love to chat to you about that.
Yeah. All right. So,
we're adventuring.
We're adventuring. You all are adventuring.
We are adventurers.
You are adventurers. Well, what was the result of the travel check? Or do you want to go ahead and get a mulligan on it? Because I don't remember.
I couldn't remember which page it was in the book.
Okay. It would just be a movement check, which would be strength and dex.
Do we each make a
So
roll,
would that be
or do
from
we
everybody,
just
or
pick one?
Yeah, I think we each make it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, strength and dex for me.
And you.
That will be.
I found it. It's on. Oh wait, it's not on a page number in the book. I see.
Ooh, I got a 7.
I got
Same.
an 8.
All right. Here, let me just see what that means. I need to pop it open.
I have walking. I think I get a +1 if we're on a road.
You are on a road.
So.
Oh, because your boots were made for walking.
Yeah, walking shoes +6. And is this less than level 3 terrain?
Yeah, I mean it's I'd say it's probably like level 1 or 2. It's a road.
Yeah.
It hasn't seen a lot of use recently. You're the first feet to be on it. I'd say in like a month or two. But like there are wagon wheels on either side, so you get the impression that it's not like a totally abandoned road.
Yeah. So I've got a +2 on that 6.
Rapid.
All right. So you're at an 8. Let me see how to read this. I totally lost it in the document.
So yeah, the check difficulty is the terrain value plus the weather value.
Okay, and it's clear skies. So I'd say that nobody rolled like 3 or 4, right, or below that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. Yeah. No. You all make it pretty easily. It's easy traveling. You were pretty much up with the sun, so I'd say like as you're setting out after the spider fiasco, it's just reaching like the top of the sky, and like the clouds are sort of just bumbling along, minding their own business. It's not too windy, just enough wind to keep the sweat off your brow, and there's that like satisfying crunch of the dirt beneath your feet as you're walking along. And Vienno, you kind of like as you're all walking along, there's sort of a musicality to everybody's footsteps. Like Curva has this strong, steady bass line that's going on as she walks. There's like a certainty there, something that it feels like it could support several other tracks above it. And then there's the tippity-tappity, tippity-tappity of Lazuli skipping along. And then Quithup accompanies Lazuli in that. Quithup sort of gets caught up in Lazuli's mood. And then Vienno, there are your footsteps, which they're even, they're metered. It's like a metronome, is what it is.
So, kind of hearing all of this, I kind of start bobbing my head a little bit, maybe not even realizing it yet, and just kind of become aware of the silence, and not as an uncomfortable thing. It almost sounds like the silence at the beginning of a song that the introduction is working up, and so you know that more music is coming. It's just sort of taking its time. And so I probably start with humming, just like a and get a little bit awkward, and it's like, do you mind if I, and sort of swing my lute in front of me.
Leslie starts whistling.
Oh, how do you do that?
You put your lips together and you blow out. Yeah, that.
Wow.
And you can kind of make it sound like different things, to different tones. You can make it higher or lower, sort of like this. And I just start with a chromatic scale. So like a little do, re, mi.
What was that?
In whistling, you whistle a chromatic scale?
No, I'm on my lute.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I can whistle. I don't know if I have
Takes
as
like
nimble of
flesh
lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just sort of start plucking some real basic, probably just warm up or almost tuning music on my lute.
Nice.
I think like if it becomes enough of a song, Curva would start singing, and she doesn't have much of a range, but like she's very like it's very like tonal and resonant. Like
Nice.
she has her voice like echoes in her chest, and it's like all of the songs she knows are like either working songs or lullabies.
I was gonna say, yeah, like definitely like railroad kind of songs.
But yeah, she'll start like singing that like under her breath, and then if it gets like like loud enough, then she'll just start singing.
Oh, that's awesome.
While like lugging this rock along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pick up on one of the working songs that you're singing. I kind of hear it, and I don't quite recognize it, but you know when you hear a song that's too quiet, you kind of think that it's a different song in your head before you can recognize what it actually is. So what I hear in my head is almost like a dirge, so something that's a little bit more heavy and plodding, but I play it up a key to match the tonality of everybody else. So yeah, I start playing kind of a driving, heavily rhythmic song, but play it up a key so it's not so dour.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, like my song is probably one
Leslie...
about a life of toil, right?
Yeah. Lots of working.
Yeah.
Nice.
Leslie has like a lot of little jingle jangles on their pack and all that, and I figure they probably got like a little canister of like dried tea leaves on them, like definitely. So they start like shaking it like a little rain stick almost.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love it. So you all walk and skip down this road to this played up dirge that was a sadness turned happy, and it's a very easy journey. The grass it does start parting. You notice like what's the word, like desert scrub brush? I can't remember what it's called.
Sagebrush?
Sagebrush.
Like salt brush?
Yeah. Like the grass itself, it's not quite swaying fields anymore. It's a lot drier. The trees sort of they've decided that this area is not for them. It's clear flats for long distances, and eventually, as you like crest a hill, you kind of see this big white thing off in the distance, and if you squint, you think it's moving, but you're not super sure. And Curva, you feel like a stronger pull from the stone.
Towards or away from it?
Towards. It's like an excitement.
I think she turns to Quithip and is like, I think your stone wants to go over there.
Oh, I think so. That's it. That's the thing.
And Quithip, like having since gotten down from Vienna, kind of spins in a circle, mimicking mimicking what they did before, and then takes off. Just sprints, but then comes back. I forgot the stone. And then grabs the rope and starts like jumping up and down while you still walk your metered pace.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it's okay. There's no rush. We'll get there.
Yeah. And
yeah, have a snack. You look hungry.
they munch the snack and sort of make excited noises through the crunching.
It's definitely like a small small sausage, like a Twiggy stick, and then
nice
cheese wrapped around it or something. Like just all of her food is things that shouldn't be put together.
I love it. Quithip loves it. They just chomp on it and like really dig it. And yeah, the rest of the journey there is very simple, actually. It's just a matter of watching this thing get bigger and bigger until you're standing right before it, and you see you're standing at the foot of this enormous, very, very gently moving dome. It's moving so slowly that it's difficult to tell that it's moving sometimes. And it's not like fully like white, like not like painted, but the material it's made out of gives it that look.
Is it like stone or metal?
It's closer to stone. And it's kind of just in the middle of nowhere. Like it's you're standing in the middle of this big open like desert prairie basically, and there is that on the other side of it, you do notice a big fissure in the ground, but you haven't approached too closely to it. There's like sagebrush here and there, and the sun's high in the sky, and roasting the brush, so there's this like nice smell in the air.
Does the building have any sort of features on it? I am kind of imagining it right now as a giant pork bun shape.
Yes, pork bun shape is
okay.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Very slowly turning.
I'm imagining like porcelain.
That's also quite close. It has a bit of a rougher texture to it than porcelain.
Right.
I tap on it a little bit.
Knock knock.
It doesn't have like a hollow noise. It's like kunk kunk. Yeah, and it's very slowly turning.
I start walking in the opposite direction.
Is there a door?
And like looking for a door.
Okay. It takes a bit. It's pretty big. Like as you're walking around it, you're like, oh wow, it's huge. And Quithip is with you the whole way, bouncing up and down. And as it's kind of like turning,
I think I did like I looked at Quithip and I'm like, can you run ahead and see if there's a door?
Yeah. Boom. Just gone.
Careful for the fissure.
Wait, did Lazuli just say race?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, they both sprint off just and vanish kind of around the corner edge, I'd say, but there's no hard edges to this thing. They just vanish around it. And
the bend.
Yeah, the bend. And Lazuli, you see stairs actually in carved into the side of it that just kind of lead up along the outside. And Quithip starts bouncing up and down. That's it!
Woo!
Race to the top?
Okay.
Wait, did you cut out when you described what it was climbing to the top?
Oh, no, just race to the top. It's a bunch of stairs.
Oh, stairs. Okay.
Yeah.
That got cut out. Okay. Yeah, they just go.
Yeah. All right, yeah. No, they both sprint to the top. And as you get to the top, you see another stone. It's sort of this like what's the word I'm looking for? Let me just look up this word really quick to make sure it's the right one. It's kind of like it's kind of like a pulpit that the stone is on, or like standing behind, and it's this like indented area at the top that you can safely stand on without fear of like slipping off. There's like the sides are raised up a bit. So you're sort of like standing in this little indentation, and there's a pulpit, and then there's another stone. It's like it's taller and thinner and carved in the same style as the one before, and it also looks kind of sad. Ooh, you cut out super bad.
Sad? What's up with all these sad rocks?
I don't know. Should we take it? Should we?
Well, Can this one, can we talk to this one like the other one?
I don't know.
Quithip puts a hand on it. You as you kind of tap the rock, you don't really feel anything.
Maybe we wait for the others.
Well, it's just you don't think do you?
Ooh, I don't know if it's just me, but you were super robot for that one.
Can you hear me all right?
You're getting better.
It's well connected.
Oh no, robot time.
Yeah, the robot's turning into a robot.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
We can hear you
Okay.
now.
Okay, never mind. Maybe we can't. All right. Here, Taylor, we're having difficulty hearing you. Vienna has a bit of like a skip and sort of powers down for a second.
Just I'm gonna be here now.
I can't understand you at all.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay. We can hear Siv now. That's good.
All right, yeah, we can hear Siv. Everybody was turning into robots. All right. So Curva, you kind of hear some like excited shouting from ahead.
Yeah, I hear people like shouting, and then I hear like the sound of them running up
Tap tap
stairs,
tap, tap,
and
tap,
I'm like
tap, tap,
and I'm like looking up as I hear the sound, and then I see them like, because it's a dome, I see them at the top, and I'm like,
tap.
and
Yeah.
like, you know, like the little wind comes out of my mouth as I like slump with this
Yeah.
this rock. I'm like, and I like
I sure hope we don't.
I'm like, don't you dare fall! If you fall, you'll be in so much trouble. Where are the stairs? I'm coming up there myself.
You see Quithup's mouth move, but like they're a little too like distant and small to get their voice to you, but like they're pointing kind of like, and you get a general sense that it's like just a couple more turns
Cool.
away.
I head around and head up the stairs, and I'm and like by the time I get to the top, I'm like I'm not like Curva doesn't seem to be exhausted at all by having lugged this rock up the stairs. She looks like she just climbed some stairs.
Yeah.
But she gets to the top, and she's you can see she's like grumpy about the fact that they climbed up these dangerous stairs, and she like looks around and it just like scowls at in turn like Quithup and then Lazuli and then the other stone. As if, and she gives an especially long look at the other stone as if it's its fault.
Quithup's ears like droop a bit, and they look pretty sad. And yeah, no. Wait, Taylor, are you back? No, you're still a robot. Oh, no, Vienna. All this sand, Vienna. Yeah. Vienna's having a bit of technical difficulties, so he's kind of like shut down. Yeah, no, so as you're like at the top of this, the stone you've been carrying, it feels warm suddenly. Like not like actually temperature warm, but like the sensation of warmth.
Yeah, and she's like, okay, well, now your stone friend is warm.
Oh.
Like, yeah, she's like, what is your, and she's like, I think she puts it down and then is like, I think you should talk to him. What does he say?
Oh,
Oh, she. Sorry, I misgendered the stone.
Oh no, you misjudged the stone. Quithip walks up to it and kind of like paces around it and then like hugs it, and then like pulls back.
I don't know. She's not talking.
We have 2 robots.
Oh, here.
Here, Siv, try rejoining.
Gosh.
Technical difficulties abound.
Yeah.
Okay, Taylor says he's restarting his router. Okay, so like, as you're kind of like all gathered around this stone and like looking at it, and Quithip's like, "No, I don't hear her." You get the sense somebody else is with you, and there's like a strange air kind of surrounding the area, and it gets like a little misty.
Have we got Siv back?
I think so. Siv? No, Siv is dead.
Siv? Siv?
Siv!
Yeah. So, do we want to just wait for them?
Yeah, let's go ahead and give it a second. I'll go ahead and take
Yeah.
some questions. Whoa, whoa!
Hey! Whoa!
Hi.
I reached down and I looked down to the little fennec fox and I'm like, "You okay, little buddy? You kind of got a bit stunned there. It's very high up here. You should breathe slowly."
Oh, it's this altitude. Wow.
Yeah, you're not used to heights. You're super dizzy. And like as you like reach down to brace little Lazuli, you hear somebody speak up, and it's in this sort of sing-songy voice. The voice says, "Oh, I see that you've brought her back."
What? And she Kova like stands up like straight as a stick and is like super tall. Just like looks around, like
Yeah, and as you're looking around, sort of like reclining on the edge of the indentation, like the little raised part, is this woman who would rival you in height, you'd have to guess. She has very, very long, kind of like sandy hair that's sort of like just hanging in the air as though underwater. And she's got on this like really fancy, well, not like opulent, but like detailed dress that is like really flowing, and sort of blends and like falls and is draped over the side and kind of rests at the bottom of the indentation as though a pool of water.
so more like a silk print than like an embroidery.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's reclining on the edge and kind of like sort of absent-mindedly swinging one of her legs and just beholding you three.
She's Kova's like, where did you come from?
Oh,
Those stairs are very
Wow.
very tall.
I've been here. Well, I should say, where did you come from?
Down there. I took the stairs.
And you?
Kova's like, we came from the road. We're travelers.
Oh, travelers. Well, welcome. I hope you find
She's
this
like-
prairie to your liking.
Is this your stone?
One of them is my stone.
Which one?
I mean, she's like, is this your stone? And like points at the one she's been carrying.
She shakes her head. And it doesn't quite look like her. Between the two stones that are there is, what, Siv?
I'm gonna go ahead and say a quick boop.
Oh, okay.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You power up halfway up the stairs, as the thing has been spinning around, you've just sort of been like standing there.
Okay, so boom.
Hey, Dano, there's a lady up here.
You mean our friend that we've been traveling with?
No, there's another one.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Okay. I clunk up the stairs.
Okay, yeah. And then the woman kind of sitting on the edge just watches you very slowly come up the stairs. And as I was saying, she looks like the other stone. Even though the stone is very stylized, it just seems more like her.
I think Keva's like, this stone has been trying to get here. Do you know why?
I can imagine that she was lonely.
Stones.
It's her
She's
home?
like she's giving sort of like short responses, not really paying much attention to you, and has kind of been looking at the stone this whole time, while like trying to maintain an aloof attitude.
I think Keva like squats down and like looks at the stone and is like, "Were you lonely? Is this where you wanted to come? Is this your friend?"
Did you say that out loud?
I say that out loud to the stone.
Okay. Oh, she can't hear you. My wife's a heavy sleeper.
And Keva's like, "Your wife? Okay, that makes sense." And then she like looks at the stones and she's like, what should I do then?"
Well,
Can we help her get out of the stone or wake up?
the woman like kicks her legs and sits up, and it kind of rests her head on her hand. I would appreciate that very much. To be honest, I didn't know where she was. The last I saw of her, she said she had some people to protect. If you're interested in waking her up, well, I'm sure that she's ready.
Wait, so can she protect people still if she's awake, or does she need to be asleep?
Protect? What's there to protect anyone from?
Oh, I don't know. I had a bad dream last night. That was kind of
Yeah,
weird.
being sad.
I think Keva's like, if she went, Keva's like, I'm sure if she was going, if she had to protect people, then she had a very good reason. But if she's back here now, then that's fine.
Well, so she said, but it's been an awfully long time.
Yeah, and you can see like Keva being like frustrated and being like, this is a conversation she's already had with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, just I think we should all be happy that she's home. Is there something that we could do to help her? Is it a good? Would she like to wake up? Do you think?
Do you have like?
Go ahead.
Oh, I said, do you have like an alarm clock for her?
No, I doubt that an alarm clock would wake her up, but there is a ritual.
Woo, spooky.
No ghosts involved.
I don't know magic, but I know people who know magic.
Oh, not
I
magic in
think.
that sense. More a representative of magic. The act of the ritual is more important than the ritual itself, if that makes sense.
I think it does. Yeah. All right, so we need to do the act of this ritual. Do you know how the ritual goes?
Of course.
Oh, okay. I don't have any, I think that people are good and I should trust people. But the stone made me sad. Did the stone make me... So he's
that
mumbling
stone.
to himself.
Yeah, she catches on to that. Oh, that stone made me sad too.
Keva just humps and furrows her brow more.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so rude. I was sleeping. What's your name?
Oh, my name? Chat.
Yes, please, if that's all right.
What is this goddess's name? In the interim, just kind of being in her presence, you get the sense that there is a very intentional aloofness that she is maintaining.
Yeah.
Curva seems to be responding especially poorly to that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna assume that I start picking up on this vibe that's going on, and maybe this person isn't a person we should trust. Is there like a insighty type of thing?
Spirit intelligence, maybe?
Okay.
Ooh,
Literally
like
any
Presidia.
combination of stats are going to be the same for me.
I like Presidia the most. Presidia? Presidia?
Bracedia? No, that sounds like
Bracedia?
a food. That sounds too much like food.
It does.
I like Gralia personally.
Ralia?
Gralia?
Gralia? Oh yeah, Gralia is really good. Siv? Taylor?
There's a Bastria going around, and that's kind of similar to Bela. So I don't know if they should
I like that.
have
I like
a-
Bastria.
Ooh, Bastria
Yeah.
and
I like
Bela?
Bastria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. My name is Bastria. I am the plains.
You are the plains.
Well, yes. Isn't that plain to see? She kind of gives a very slight smile.
I don't get it.
Me neither.
It's
Cur-
a play
Cur-
on
Cur-
words because play. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Curva just like, and like little smoke comes off of her.
Oh wow, this seems over my head. But maybe this is where my journey led. Oh, that rhymed.
Nice.
Curva, I trust you. And I think we should definitely do something here. I think with the sadness in the stone, we should help her somehow.
Well, I can tell you how to help her. Would you like me to tell you?
Of course, we would like you to tell us. Gosh.
Oh, bit of a fiery one, aren't you?
She's like, yeah. She's like,
Well, like I said, there's a ritual. The ritual is 3 parts. First, make some tea. Second,
I can do that.
she gives you a very gentle smile, and you feel a breeze sort of wash over you.
Ooh.
And then she holds up a second finger and says, play a song. And then, forgive her.
Oh, we did those first 2 things already.
Really?
Do we do them again? Because we made tea last night for each other, and then we played a song on the way here.
You did?
Did you know that we did?
I think she knew that.
She gives a very she gives a very slight smile again.
I think you know more than you're letting on.
Well, the plains are vast and mysterious. So,
Sorry, I keep muting and unmuting.
That's
because I got
okay.
a tickle in my throat. It's driving me crazy.
that's okay. And like as she was listing both of those things, she was like looking at each of you. First she was looking at Lazuli, and then she was looking at Vienno, and then she says, "Have you forgiven her?" And then she looks at you, Curva, and it's
and
like,
Curva's like, what have I got to forgive her for? She's just been protecting people. That's her responsibility. She's the one doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Oh, not her.
What?
You know. There's someone else.
She's like, and like, yeah, she like looks at Bastria, and she's like, that's not even in the planes. What do you?
But you're in the
How do you-
planes.
She's like, that's why I'm out here. I'm out here to let her grow so that she can be a responsible human being, like an adult. That's what this is about.
All of this is about forgiving her.
And she's like, she's like, she's so reckless. She just needs to grow up. That's why I'm out here, so she'll have her own. I don't need to forgive her. She needs to get better.
My. That doesn't sound very helpful.
Yeah, and she's like, how am I supposed to forgive someone who doesn't even try?
Are you sure she hasn't tried, or has she just been trying in her own way?
And like she I think she just like sits down, right, and like crosses her arms and legs and just sits.
Mm-hmm.
And with your permission, Faust, I'd like to just time skip, just day-night cycle.
Uh-huh. Oh, totally.
And then a night passes, the day passes, and then a night passes, and we see people going around their business, and people coming and trying to talk to her, and she's just sitting there in a huff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then the next dawn, she gets up and she's like, okay, and picks up the rock and goes and puts it next to the other one, and you can see there's a change in her face, but she doesn't say anything. She's just been sitting there thinking until she's ready to place the rock next to the other one.
Nice. And as you put that rock down by the other one, you all hear that song that you played again, and you all hear the song that Vienno played. You all smell that tea that Lazuli brewed, and it fills the air. It spreads far and wide, and then as you were watching, just sort of the stones sit together, you see two faint images behind them, which is the one woman that you've seen before, and then the other you recognize as Bela. Very, very sort of short, stout, very strong, dependable looking. She is... It's an unusual sight, honestly, because she's armored. She has, not an axe for cutting down wood, but she has, a sword. She has a shield. And despite that, though, you don't feel intimidated by her at all. You get this sense of, wow, I could stand behind her and I would be completely safe no matter what. And she smiles at you, and you both hear you all hear a clink clink, and the stone tears fall from the Bela statue, or the Bela stone.
Ooh, she's all better.
I think Curva looks up at the two images of the two women and just starts crying.
Oh.
And she looks up at the two women and the two images of the two women, and then looks back the way she came from, and then starts crying.
Oh. You see your footsteps, despite the fact that it's been windy and those things disappear. You see your footsteps in the plains, leading off onto to a faraway horizon.
I think your journey was a metaphysical one too.
She cries, and she's like, I don't even have a metaphysis. I just miss her.
I still don't know what that is.
Yeah. I just miss her so much.
As you're all kind of staring awestruck at these two images that slowly fade away, that's, I think, a good place to call it.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
definitely.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the stream. I had no idea where it would go when it started. And I kind of wanted it to be something like, chilled out, relaxed, and fun, but still have some like emotional weight to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I like the ability we had to create things within it, like the town and the dreams and stuff. That was
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part was really cool.
Yeah, I quite like that. That was something that I'd wanted to do, and I wasn't sure how to implement. I was like, yeah, I wasn't really sure how it would play out, but I was quite happy with what you guys ended up doing with it.
Have you played Dungeon World?
I have played Dungeon
Because
World.
I love the way that Dungeon World like makes you do that. It's like the rules of Dungeon World are like, note GM, like you have to ask the players about the world building stuff and then use that stuff.
Yeah. I quite like. I've played Dungeon World a couple times, I think. But I'm not actually. I haven't done it very in depth.
Yeah, that thing of like asking the players to help you build the world is so nice.
Yeah.
Because it creates such like everyone has a shared understanding and like ownership of the story.
Exactly. I love that. That's why there's a campaign that I'm looking to start that is going to start with like I think either Microscope or Quiet Year. So
Quiet is so good.
Yeah, I love Quiet Year. So like all the players know the world like intimately instead of just being like, yeah, it's D&D world. But yeah, no, I love giving players agency within the world, especially whenever they are receptive to role playing and like improv, which you guys absolutely were, and you were great to like bounce ideas off of and back and forth with, and that was really fun.
The Quiet Year would
Ash,
be an
did
amazing thing
you-
to do before an Apocalypse World game.
Yeah. What was that, Taylor?
Ash, I was gonna ask Ash if you had that backstory kind of like pre-planned, if that was something that you two talked about before, if that just kind of like folded out throughout.
We had talked about like the fact that like I'm traveling to because my wife is a like hot-headed anime protagonist type. Like, thinks she's always the hero, and Curver's always the person doing the fucking washing up and cleaning and like cooking and everything, and like so like we knew that there was that tension.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see that like reflected in the story.
Yeah,
Cool.
I wasn't sure. Like, sorry if I totally like fat fingered that, but like
No. It was really interesting because like that was that thing of like Curva seeing herself in Bela, and then like being faced with this person who's so with Bastria who's so similar to Kano, and being like but I have to like not be angry at you.
Yeah. No, I really liked that. I really liked that. Like, it felt really cool, and I'm glad that it turned out well. Do any of you have any questions about the stream or anything like that?
Are you asking us or chat?
Oh yeah, you here in the Discord.
Okay. I don't know. That was a lot of fun. I really like that. I think it could lend itself really
Yeah,
well
it's
to
wholesome.
either
Yeah.
one of like a one shot, or I could definitely see this as an ongoing campaign. This seems like something that you could really spend a long time running and growing in.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's
world is
super
something I
open-ended.
like going to. What was that, Siv?
It's like super open-ended.
Yeah. Yeah. Chat, do you have any questions before we draw this to a close?
Oh,
What?
Boss doesn't care about our opinions.
I care about your opinions.
They feel like we've taken questions away from them.
I'm sorry.
Is it sleep time there? Is that why everyone's talking about sleep?
Yeah, it's getting close to the end of the day here. I mean, I'm on Pacific Coast, so I've got a couple hours left, but
Right.
on the East Coast, it's like, 10 or
Like
11?
11?
It's 12
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Whereas it's like lunchtime for me. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, not.
But also, I'm on Saturday, so
Oh yeah, it's your Saturday. That's right.
Yeah.
Man, nice job, Australia, with the Saturday right now.
Wait, we get into it.
Good call. Good call making it Saturday,
Good call,
Australia.
Saturday.
Nice
I'm
singing.
going to take personal responsibility for that and,
Yeah,
and
you
accept
should.
that compliment.
You should. Bastria was fishy suspicious because goddess, like, it's...
They're gonna be coy if they're a goddess.
Yeah, they're gonna be coy. Like, not only is she a goddess, but, like, she was sort of put out, like, for personal reasons, and also because she was sort of taking on an aspect of that little feud. Yes, this was the monthly stream. I don't think it will be continued with these characters because it seems like kind of a good like resolution.
We tied off a nice little story there.
At least for Curva.
But for
Yeah,
me especially, yeah.
I kind of got to help create music though, so that's definitely
True.
progress for that character. So like, even though it seems like the ending was kind of built around Curva's story, like I still feel like Vienno had his story happen alongside. It wasn't railroady or like overshadowing or anything like that.
I feel like if we had an epilogue, we'd see like Curva like walking back along her own footsteps.
Yeah.
And we'd see like probably Vienno like actually writing down some music that they created, and then Lazuli like adding to their map this weird thing they found.
Yeah. There's a big thing over here. Yeah.
I found a big onion.
A big onion.
It's the biggest pork bun I ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, Siv, what was your motivations for going on your travel? Like, did you have a specific like this is my cause for going out on a journey, or like what was your character motivation? Like I feel like it was kind of clear, but yeah.
It was pretty clear, yeah. Lazuli wanted to discover, like, specifically tea memorabilia from the old world and ruins and stuff that her, family had, like, talked about through generations and all that.
I forgot that your treasure was tea. That's so right, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So Lazuli might show up again, because they didn't find that big X marks the spot on their treasure map. But,
Lazuli might be a character I could just throw into some other setting anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's the glory of tabletops. It is just a sweet character generator. Alright, yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and especially thank you for playing.
Thank you, Foss, for running this.
Thank
it
you.
was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's been really nice to be on and just have be a player rather than a GM.
Yeah, and you were awesome as a player. I'd love to have you on again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Alright. Bye, everybody!
Bye-bye!
Goodbye.